Hey guys, Zeteo here. Today we're going to be doing a speed cast analysis. We're going to set that speed to 1.5, get it cranking, and get started.
Game started.
Alright, so we got InDaClub spawned at the bottom left-hand side. Here is our red Armada player spawning on the land here. Grabbing those two mechs is going to be working on walking into the water, grabbing a third mech, and probably putting down a shipyard. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, we have Inspector Gadget playing as our blue Armada player at the bottom right. Inspector Gadget is also known as Ubivator. The name change game has continued with Ubivator as they continuously keep changing their names. Who will they be next time? But yeah, interesting start here actually from Ubivator. We have a 4-mech start, 3 in the water and 1 on lands. It's kind of an interesting difference here between our two players, and then I'll putting down a vehicle plant. Now this is quite curious. Now a lot of the time you do ships on this map because there's just so much water, right? You just do ships. Personally, I like to do like maybe I'll do hovercraft or something, because hovercraft allows you to build constructors that can build land mexes and water mexes, and then they can harass things that the ships can't reach. So I personally like hovercraft on here. It's like one of the few maps that I think it's a reasonable thing to do. But here, doing vehicles, there's not much you can do here. I mean, where are they going to go? There's no shallow water connecting these land masses. So you really just are building beavers, and beavers can build water mexes and land mexes, so that's nice. But at the same time, you can't really build anything to apply pressure. So I think this is just a matter of, maybe reading their opponent and realizing like, okay, if my opponent builds dolphins, dolphins can't shoot these water mexes. And so the beaver and the water mexes that are underwater, they're safe. Like this dolphin here, gonna go right across, not even gonna see it. I guess they see the spray of the beaver, beaver spray. Anyways, we got 3 beavers coming out of here. Even a lands constructor here. What is he gonna do? I guess he's gonna do some nanos and maybe grab these back mexes and maybe some wind turbines probably. But yeah, probably going to be, selling the vehicle plants and getting a shipyard eventually here. Meanwhile, InDaClub already moving their commander out to grab some mexes. This is certainly something that's a lot easier to do with ships because the shipyard has a bit more build power, sitting at 165 build compared to 100 from bots and vehicles. So going to be able to do a little bit more with that. Meanwhile, it looks like Ubivator continuing to add on some concerts here. Dolphin trying to find something to do. It still hasn't found Ubivator. Maybe sees them now. Not quite. But yeah, he must be wondering, where the heck is he? Okay, so finding him kind of late kind of sucks. But yeah, just now finding him, seeing the shipyard going down, and now has the idea that there's, a vehicle plant that has done something. Now, this can be a little bit annoying as well. If you try to build ships out of the shipyard, the dolphin can continuously just shoot it down. But yeah, you can just move your commander over to destroy it. That gets a little bit more annoying when it's like a sub or something where it can outrange the commander and still hit the shipyard. And then, I don't know, it just becomes kind of a nuisance to deal with. But yeah, more dolphins coming up here, actually up to this top position here. I wonder why InDaClub likes that position so much. But yeah, just kind of parking them in the corner there. I guess I'm kind of curious as to why you'd park them in that spot specifically. There's not much they can see. Maybe to come out of that spot eventually and just kind of surprise Ubivator with an attack of some sort. But yeah, with 3 beavers out and that ground con, or ground vehicle con, Ubivator's going to have some nice mex income, I think, coming up here. But at the same time, with InDaClub moving his commander out pretty quickly, they're going to have some nice economy as well. So actually a little bit more ahead for InDaClub at the moment. Okay, so those dolphins did know where to look for those InDaClub dolphins, I suppose I should say. And yeah, found them and destroyed at least one of them. One of them's coming out, I guess. But yeah, little bits of skirmishing going on. Now, you might be curious why skaters, why dolphins, why not go straight into frigates? The reason being is you want information. You want skaters to be able to, see what's going on. and so that the Dolphins can kind of get places and just kind of see what's going down, so you can react to things properly. But yeah, eventually you do move into things like frigates and into destroyers. Destroyers, of course, can help out with enemy subs. But yeah, a bit of an investment for the frigates and destroyers. So probably going to be moving into that eventually. I guess the time is now, at least for InDaClub. And I should actually talk about this a little bit too, is there's really only two ways through to your opponent in terms of underwater stuff. And the middle of the map is traversable by T1 ships, not submarines, but ships. The shallow areas are just too shallow for submarines. But yeah, with that diagonal kind of away from people, not as contested as these shallow, narrow, or not shallow, but narrow areas, I should say. And so InDaClub doing kind of an 8v8 thing. InDaClub is more of an 8v8 player. But yeah, building these defenses and things in these choke points to control everything behind it a lot more easily. Now, again, there's still this middle of the map. So, I mean, there are some ways for InDaClub to be attacked still. So he's got to be careful. But yeah, I think with these defenses here, he's going to pretty safely have all the mechs behind it, but at the same time, since he kind of ran forward for it, doesn't have some of these other mechs in the back here, so he's kind of missing out on some metal income, but at the same time has more reasonable. Oh, I almost missed it. It looks like these units came out to play, but a little bit caught off guard here by all the Dolphins. Now, destroyers and, well, frigates, but mostly destroyers are a nice investment for the later game. Once they're in mass, like all the extra range really helps out a lot. But at the same time, if you don't have enough of them, Dolphins and things can just jump on them and destroy them. And I think InDaClub kind of making a misstep there, just kind of getting a little bit too far away from the harpoons. And now we see some seaplanes here coming out from Ubivator. I keep forgetting who this is. Yeah, Puffins coming out of here. Puffins are quite strong. T1.5 kind of units. They're as strong as T2 units, but the factory costs a lot less than a T1 than a T2 factory. So I actually like this play a lot when you compare it to what InDaClub's doing. Now there's some good scouting information going on. The Puffins are destroying some of the defenses and water mexes in the back, and if you're just thinking about like how this compares to what InDaClub's doing, InDaClub, building things like destroyers that can't attack air, and they're a unit that are more expensive. It's harder to mass up enough of them to do a strong push. It's more of like a slower paced push, taking down things eventually as you move on. And this allows things like Puffins, who are a lot faster and more mobile, can fly over the land pieces. They can just harass different locations. And now it also forces out a lot of skaters, a lot of anti-air from the other players. So, personally, I like this a lot. Skaters, by the way, I mean, they do have anti-air. They're great against like T1 air units, but this is T1.5. These Puffins have a lot more health than like a Banshee does. They have a lot more health than, fighters and other things. So, I think these skaters, while InDaClub kind of has to do it, he kind of has to build them because there's no other real option here. It's just really difficult to challenge those Puffins, I think, especially in a 1v1 where you have so much area to protect. But both players here kind of fighting for the middle of the map a bit. Looks like InDaClub is moving most of their ships northbound, maybe going to attack from around the side here. Meanwhile, there's a lot of this frigates here from InDaClub, or not InDaClub, from Ubivator, and this is certainly plenty to destroy the destroyer. But looks like for now, going to just back out and play it a little bit safe. But yeah, there's a lot of destroyers up here at the top, and these can certainly continue pushing through this avenue and do a lot of damage. So I think Ubivator needs to respect those and send some units over. And again, there is a lot of skaters here, but it's really not that much if you're considering just how tanky some of the gunships are out of that seaplane factory here. We have some sabers joining the field here, destroying these destroyers pretty easily, actually for free, I should say. And yeah, they can move on to the torpedoes, but instead they realize they need to come up here, maybe help out. You know, with these skaters and these destroyers, they can kind of kite back and you know, do a lot of damage to the Dolphins for free. So he's got to be careful with how he deals with this. And honestly, I think sabers or torpedo gunships are going to be the thing to do, because they are, you know, there's just not enough anti-air here from InDaClub. So we'll see how this plays out here exactly. The sabers are coming up now. And yeah, I think these units are now pinched at the top here. I think InDaClub here is going to lose all these units for not that much cost here. We'll just have to wait and see how this number goes in terms of the overall price here. I mean, so far, InDaClub doing great, but at the same time, all the anti-air is dead. And so these sabers have free reign, going to destroy all the destroyers in this area here, basically for free. And I think that basically evens it out. We got another, well, actually, it doesn't even it out. Destroyers are just that expensive. 3,000 metal being lost there in destroyers for free. Meanwhile, you know, he did take a 1,000 metal trade over there. So, you know, the difference being 2,000 metal that InDaClub just kind of lost there. Plus, the wrecks are on that side of the map. Oh, and here's the commander from InDaClub. This is actually really dangerous. This, I would say that's actually a game-ending mistake right there. Going onto land, showing where his commander is. Now, these sabers, whoops. These sabers cannot attack the commander underwater, but the puffins can. And, you know, the one thing that you have as a commander on a water map is it can be underwater and it's hard to find. It's hard to know where to attack. And at the same time here, though, you know, now that he went onto land, showed where his commander is, the puffins can come over there and destroy it. And after seeing that, I think InDaClub just decided to peace out. Anyways, I am Zeteo. I hope you guys enjoyed my casting. If you did, or if you didn't, please leave a comment and let me know how I'm doing. Anyways, thanks for watching. See you guys in the next one.